What's up guys and girls, the name's Stuart, and today we're going to be looking at the new Netflix film, which I forgot the name of. What's up guys and girls, the name's Stuart, and today we're going to be taking a look at The Outlaw King, the new Netflix film from director David Mackenzie that tells the tale of Robert the Bruce, King of the Scots and rebel to the crown, who waged war against the English all the way back in the 14th century. In a way, the movie kind of acts as a spiritual successor to Braveheart. The film opens pretty much near the end of William Wallace's uprising. You know that bit where Mel Gibson says,
"That they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!"
Yeah, that bit. So, the other Scottish nobles, with little choice left in the matter, have gathered to swear fealty to King Edward I of England. And although it's all a little bit sombre, at least we can be happy that Stannis Baratheon finally gets to wear a crown. So after this ugly bit of business, the following festivities get about as tense and dick measury as you'd probably expect. The boys head on out to the local Renaissance fair, where Robert and snotty man-child Edward II have a not serious but kinda serious duel, because why not? This mad-looking chap gets humiliated in front of everyone for the bants.
That land, sire, is my birthright.
You heard my
You
father.
have balls, I'll give you that. Get out of here, before I have them removed.
Then King Edward decides to show off his new toy by demolishing a fucking castle. It's basically just a standard night out in Scotland, really. Also, this whole scene appears to play out in one shot, which is cool, I guess, if they actually did that and didn't cheat it, but it just feels kind of unnecessary and overly polished for a gritty historical epic. Plus, this whole spinning around the actors like you're on a fucking merry-go-round cliche really gets on my tits. So, Robert gets gifted this lady wife, who just happens to be super attractive. Seriously, the disparity between actual historical figures and the Hollywood actors portraying them is always off the charts in these sorts of films. Having said that, however, I don't think so many people would be weighing their panties over this later scene if it was Shrek's less charismatic cousin here getting his knob out rather than Captain Kirk. So, hey, I ain't complaining. Anyway, the two do some super romantic sitting and talking. This fella gets put in his place.
That was quick.
Aye, well, you'd know plenty about that, Seamus.
Then the dad just sort of fucking dies out of nowhere, which is how I hope I'll go. And after the last of the rebels, William Wallace, is slaughtered, that's Mel Gibson to you non-historian aficionados, Robert decides to take the fight to the dastardly English once more.
There can be no peace.
So Robert tries to build up his army by reaching out to longtime nemesis John Comyn, who in turn, rather short-sightedly, threatens to snitch on Robert to King Edward and ends up getting stitches for his trouble. Robert is now considered an enemy of God for shedding blood on Holy Land. This in turn leads King Stannis to forget what show he's in and raise the dragon or some such.
My son will raise the dragon banner.
Which basically means the rules of war, aka chivalry, go completely out the window, and they can do whatever the hell they want, such as ambushing the enemy in the dead of night, or flinging babies at walls, which excites his psychotic man-child very, very much, apparently. Anyway, because of said ambush and baby slinging, Robert is left with around 40 men, and they proceed to dick around Scotland being hunted by pretty much everyone. Then the prince goes after Robert's wife and kids, who are pretty fucking useless at hiding, really. Seriously, he was barely even through the front door yet and they've been found. Then some horrible stuff happens to Robert's brother, which I cannot show on YouTube because I'm not Logan Paul, but if you know anything about medieval punishments, you can probably guess what it is. In short, well, Robert's having a pretty shit time of it, really.
No more chivalry. Now we fight like wolves.
With our teeth. Robert and the gang then do some Trojan horse shit and start taking back Scotland a piece at a time with tried and tested tactics of guerrilla warfare. And before you know it, well, not before you know it exactly. The film is over 2 hours long. But before you know it, we're barreling towards the action-packed finale, where Robert and Edward II finally get to go face to face on the battlefield. And honestly, as climaxes go, it's very good. The battle is dirty and brutal in all the right ways, and it plays out in a very reminiscent way to the Battle of the Bastards, though they may have gone just a tad overboard with the exploding blood bags. So overall, despite receiving a fairly mixed bag of middling reviews, I very much enjoyed The Outlaw King. Though it suffers from 1 or 2 issues that these historical epics tend to, such as being overly long or romanticising the main characters to an extreme degree. Seriously, I'm sure Robert the Bruce was a bit of a cunt every once in a while. But other than that, it's an enjoyable, violent romp through medieval Scotland. That'll be a good fix for anyone missing Game of Thrones, or those just looking for a decent movie to fill a rainy Sunday afternoon. Anyhow, this has been Stuart, and if you made it this far in the video, then comment down below. The voices in my head won't leave me alone, please help. If you enjoyed this review, then you may well like some of these ones too. And if you like those, then you may as well go ahead and subscribe. It would really help me out, and if you do, we may well become brothers in arms in the rebellion. Against... I don't know, you think of something.